Welcome back to In the Garden. I am joined with Jordan from Grange Co-op, and today we are talking about lighting your houseplants. So, Jordan, first of all, with houseplants in general and with lighting, why do we need to light houseplants? Obviously, the obvious question is, well, the sun. Like, why can't we just use the sun? Why do we need to use these special lights?
Sure. I get asked a lot when people are coming into the store looking at houseplant selection. They go, I need something that will grow in a dark corner, and they're just going to describe an office cubicle, maybe a dark den or a bedroom. And yes, a lot of plants can grow in that low light condition. A lot of these tropical houseplants are used to growing on rainforest floor. They're not getting much at all, but they'll survive, they won't thrive. Obviously, we want our plants to be their best and to look their best.
Okay, awesome. And so we have a few little options here for different lights. I mean, what are the differences between these two and which kind of plants go on which light?
So you'll often see terms like grow bulbs, grow lights thrown out there. And the difference between that and a standard incandescent bulb is going to be the wavelength for one. So on the small scale, for the average houseplant enthusiast, you usually see much smaller setups. The first thing I recommend for someone who goes, I don't want the ugliness of the big LED ballast, I don't want to look like a grow op, you can get 60-watt incandescent bulbs that will fit into any fixture. Great if you have a corner lamp, an overhead lamp close to your plant, something like that. You won't notice a huge difference with that. You can even get a clamp-on fixture like this that can go near your plant to get into the direct light. If you want something a little bit more high-tech, these LED lights have been more prominent. The costs have definitely come down over the last few years, so these are actually a very feasible option. Being LEDs, there's not a huge amount of power draw. The only downside is because of their size, their intensity is only so much. While you can go with higher intensity and large ballast or something that can combat that output and also that power draw, these typically have to be a lot closer to the plant, hence the little clip-on or the stake style to get the plant what it needs.
Right, and I feel like I have to ask, of course, when you are using lights and plants, of course, you know, if you're watering your plants, be careful when, you know, things are plugged in and you're using water. I think we just have to point that out. Like you mentioned, if you don't want the look of like an ugly big light, you know, in the corner room, these are kind of cool looking. Like we got some cool color, and obviously they're good for the plant, right?
They're a vibe, and I tell people, even they're like, oh, it's so bright. Oh, my skin tone. That's me. It's pink. Put these on a timer. Have them going on for 8-10 hours while you're at work. They're not going to be on that long. Again, your plant doesn't stop growing just because you leave home.
Right. Okay. Well, if you guys want to learn more information on lights and house plants and the combination of these two, of course, you can head to a Grange Co-op store to learn more information, or you can head to our website at KDRV.com. Thank you so much for joining us in the garden.